So when I started these charcoal drawings, I started with very specific series. I have a cousin who's a born-again Christian, and she said, your series is like Genesis, like in the Bible. She said God made, He made the heavens, He made the earth, He made the water, He made the plants, He made the people, and she was right. I looked in the Bible, and that first series became like essentials. They were like I was making a world. I was interested in these ideas of what are the images of the collective unconscious, and I thought maybe, looking back, I thought maybe all these images are. But then when I realized that I had made a world, I needed to populate the world, and the work really exploded at that point. So anything that I thought was interesting became possible in that sense. So that's where the work kind of explodes. I mean, art is about a balance between things that are highly personal, also socially relevant. Like, for instance, the Freuds and the waves happening at the same time was interesting. The Freuds were very personal because it had to do with like this idea of this office that my father would go to when he had heart conditions. So we'd have to sit in this doctor's office and wait for my father, thinking whether my father was going to die or not. But the waves are also like psychological profiles. The shape of a wave is dictated by what's deep underneath it. It sounds like psychoanalysis. And the roses happened basically because I wanted to make a gift for my wife at the time. And then the bombs happened because my son was studying something in school, and I realized the waves, the roses, and the bombs all were these images of things that happen at their moment of being. Like a wave crashes, a rose blooms, a bomb explodes. In the late 70s, early 80s, Reagan used to say, let's return America to traditional values. And I always thought, what were the traditional values in America? Was it owning slaves? I mean, and I saw that my generation of artists, the media artists, were about what art could be. And I thought it was much more interesting to make pictures of pictures. I mean, the world was being shaped by the media, and the generation of artists I merged with became known as the pictures generation, where we were making images based upon media. Maybe artists are the original AIs. The artist has the chance to tell the truth, because we make images but we have no sponsorship. There's no like the tribe telling people what to paint, the church telling people what to paint, the government telling people what to paint. And then modern art happened when subject matter became whatever you wanted to make, So in that sense, I always say that you can fashion the truth or you can tell the truth, I'm trying to tell the truth. But I think art is about believing. That's it. The thing of what's interesting about art is about isolating the act of believing. Like, I believe so much in these pictures that I take a chunk of my life to make them. So museums become like church. They're like churches. And I think about art as a religion, but it's a religion where nobody's killing people over it, for sure. That's important to me. Well, I make these pictures because I make them because I want to see them. That's the first thing. I make them because I want to see them. I want to see them at this scale. I mean, I used to joke about the fact that in America, if it's big, it's good, But the scale is, I want there to be a moment of like taking your breath away, like I want that moment of like fuck, I just want this moment of like expansiveness is really important to me. I think all the drawings have this kind of quality, that they're somewhat epic moments, for sure. I mean, there's nothing in these images that are mundane. I'm not interested in every day. I'm interested in these high points. I mean, the work is maybe seems like it's political at times, but I think all art is political. you know. And I think politics is a different thing. I think politics is like organized hate. That's completely different. But I think making art is just by its nature a political act. It's about the freedom of expression for sure. So, and you know, the fact that these are images I've chosen to make. They're also ways that I think these are ways that I want to be remembered. The art is about saying, making these things saying, I was here. This person was here, and this is a report of being here now. So, you know, 100 years from now, you know, if humankind is still here in 100 years, they can look at this work and get an idea what it was like in 2000, because this is the world we live in right now. I think this is a really great reflection of the world we live in. I find it really fascinating that the show ends with no people. It ends with the iceberg and the sharks and the waves. And the way that things are going right now, this may be the way it is. I mean, we may just fucking destroy humankind may destroy itself. I have to be really careful about saying mankind. My wife has made me very aware of how, she's very feminist, but how men have fucked up the world. I mean, especially I'm a white man, so we are so responsible for fucking up the world so much, and things are so, you turn on the news, it's just so fucked up. I'm so disappointed in humankind, that the fact that we can't figure this shit out is awful. I mean, the United States is now becoming a tribe of white men, and we think that, and white men are so scared of the United States. They're so afraid that women will take away their rights, the immigrants will take away their jobs. You know, it's so fucked up right now. It's so yeah. Sometimes I think my work is one gigantic big apology. You know, I'm sorry for all this shit. It really. These are acts of attrition. You know, they're like prayers. Please forgive me. Sorry.